Let's join now our reporter Natasha Phiri, who's in Ekurhuleni, where the ANC has been trying to complete a process they started a few weeks ago. Natasha, thanks for joining us. We spoke a couple of weeks ago and there were delays because of credentials. But before we get into that, just recap us what's happened today.
Well, a very good evening to Peter and of course to the viewers of the Globe. Today was the resumption of that conference that took place 2 weeks ago at the Lakes in Benoni. And right now we're actually at the Birchwood Hotel, where members and delegates of the ANC at the 14th Provincial Conference need to conclude the business of the day. And that means they need to go to commissions, of which they've broken for dinner now, and they're still yet to go back to commissions. And of course the election of those 30 additional members, which will constitute of those PEC members, which is the highest decision-making body in between the provincial conference of the ANC. But I'm actually now joined by my guest, who is the provincial secretary of the ANC, Mr. Thembinkosi TK Nziza, and he'll just update us on, the program of the day, what is going on right now, what is to then go on, and Mr. Nziza, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. It's been a long day. We're still here. Is everything going according to plan?
We're actually dealing with conference, and conference has its own dynamics. But the good part about it, and I don't hear you speaking about it, we are in commissions. Mm-hmm. Commissions commenced around 5. And comrades have been busy dealing with issues of commissions. We're going to go back to plenary and try and resolve whatever issue that has been raised in a closed session. And I think the NEC is going to resolve and assist us to move forward. We've been consulting and speaking to all members of the ANC. So that we're able to make sure that when we leave here, we are a united organization. You
talk about plenary and a closed session, and I know members of the media are not privy to it. I'm going to try to push you on that issue. We got information from various sources saying that the issue of credentials once again raised its head in plenary.
Well, credentials were adopted in the last conference. It's a continuation. But members
the quarantine votes, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, of course. That's your famous thing. But look, of course, the NEC will clarify the matter. And we've been consulting everybody. Like I'm saying to you, it's not an easy conference. It's a conference that is testing the character of the ANC, and we believe we'll come out of here very strong as the ANC. That is why we took about 2 hours. Everybody is consulting, is engaging, so that we all follow the processes of the organization and we're able to move forward. The good part about it, though, that I would want you to also report on. Don't act as if it's a by the way. Commissions.
No, we've been talking about commissions as the SABC, definitely.
And discussions of the ANC are underway, and people are now focused and seized with the matter of resolving the issues of our people in Gauteng. Any other issue will be resolved by a closed session, and we believe that as we go back, we should be able to come up with the solutions on issues of elections, because we are not only here for elections, we are also here to discuss issues that are affecting our people. And delegates have expressed that view, that we are not only here to elect. The last time we had issues about credentials. This time, whatever that happens, let's come out of here with strong resolutions that will assist our people.
In light of what you just said, earlier on I had an interview with you. You were confident that conference will close on time tomorrow. Is this still the same sentiment?
It's a conference of the ANC, and it must be allowed to comrades expressing themselves. And I believe that I'm still confident, by the way, because I must be confident to the members of the ANC, as I'm confident to myself, that everybody wants to get out of this conference with one voice. And we believe that we have done enough work, and we're continuing to do that work so that we're able to come out of here with one voice. By the way, you can't be asking fishes to swim. We're politicians. We're here to do the work of our people. If it means we must not sleep again, so be it. As long as we do the revolutionary work of our people. And that's why we're here. So you can't hear even one person complaining, because we all know the importance of bringing or coming out of here with a united organization. So ungasifileli sorry when we said Zopuma ngo-9, see political program here, and the ANC is an old organization which has had problems for many years, but it has a way of resolving them. This is one of them. It will resolve it.
Mr. Musa, thank you so much for your time. I will be catching up with you later on in terms of a progress report as to how conference is going. Peter, well, you heard it there from the Provincial Secretary of the ANC in Gauteng, him saying that, listen, if it means that they aren't going to sleep yet again, they will be, continuing with the business of the day. And that means we as journalists as well won't be sleeping. We'll be giving you all the live updates in regards to this issue, but just also to backtrack and to bring you to a contentious issue. Peter, 2 weeks ago, we've been reporting on the issue of the quarantine votes. This issue now raised its head again in plenary. This has been, a thorny issue for the ANC, a thorn in the flesh for the ANC, because yet again in that closed session, a number of our sources had said that the issue of the quarantine votes had actually been raised yet again. We do know that members of the NDR had actually convened about the issue, and like Mr. Ngiza says, that the NEC must actually solve and resolve this issue. Some delegates are calling for those votes, those quarantine votes, to actually be open, but we expect the ANC spokesperson, Mr. Pulemabe, to brief members of the media anytime from now on, just to give us clarity, because Peter, the last time you spoke to the ANC national spokesperson on this very issue, he had said that the NEC is tasked with dealing with the issue. But I mean, he wasn't forthcoming about the issue, when talking to members of the media. He had said that it seems as if we as members of the media have an agenda, But I mean, these are issues that the delegates of the ANC, especially those affected, delegates from those branches and those wards in Ekurhuleni, are raising time and time again. But it is my understanding that once credentials are adopted, Peter, you can't then open those quarantine votes. So the ANC really needs to, clarify, us members of the media and also delegates here about that issue really. But as you've heard Mr. TK Ngiza saying that, the other issue, an important issue, is the issue of commissions, where ANC members are actually tasked with dealing with various policy documents of the ANC, balance of forces, the battle of ideas, organizational renewal, and so forth, peace and stability as well, because this comes at a very crucial time where the policy conference of the ANC will be taking place this month, end of July, and Mr. Ngiza basically saying that these policies need to speak to the needs of the people of Gauteng, as you know that this is the economic hub of the country, if not of the continent, Peter. And I mean, the ANC, seeing that it did so badly at the polls last year, using those three key metros, Ekurhuleni, Tshwane, and Johannesburg, the new leadership and this, delegates of the ANC will be tasked, at trying to regain their power and marshal to victory, as they say, come the 2024 elections. But of course, we are still here. We will be giving you live updates of what's happening. We also will be tweeting on our social media networks. So I do implore you to stay tuned to SABC News and Channel 44.
All right. Natasha, just before you disappear, just remind us what's at risk here in terms of those quarantine votes. Are they of a sufficient number that they could alter the result? And is this why they're so contentious?
Well, Peter, some actually are saying that once these quarantine votes are open, especially here, the ramifications it will have here at the provincial conference are quite dire. I mean, other delegates were saying that it has the potential to collapse conference, and we're not saying that as members of the media. I mean, we're just quoting what delegates are actually saying. Others are saying, listen, it will affect the positions of the provincial secretary, Mr. TK Ngiza. Others, I mean, I read a Facebook post from the likes of Terence conference, and he had said that, Thulani Kunene, who was contesting Tikengza for the position of, provincial treasury, was somewhat dropped. Those quarantine votes need to be opened, and then they will see, who really is the provincial secretary, or who's actually supposed to be the provincial secretary. So these are the dynamics around this. But I think the NEC would be better placed to actually put us, members of the media, and actually clarify this issue with members of the media and, of course, delegates inside that conference. But I mean, this is the belief of some delegates, saying that, the ramifications are huge if those quarantine votes are actually open and are actually counted here at the conference.
All right, Natasha, thanks very much indeed. Always doing great work at these conferences for us. Thanks for joining us. All right, that's our reporter Natasha Phiri, who's at the ANC's reconvened gathering at Ekurhuleni, east of Johannesburg, trying to finish the business they started 2 weeks ago.